I got a homesick heart, but a long ways left to go. I've been doing my part, but I ain't got much to show. So I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. Chasing that life, moving on, cause I had to prove there ain't no life worth doing what I did to you. So I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness. I've got dreams that keep me up in the dead of night, telling me I wasn't made for the simple life. There's a lot I see, but it's far in the distance. I'm asking you to show me some forgiveness. It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness.
Come on in and grab a seat.
I've been working all night, maybe you could help me to believe this song ain't nothing if the song can't set you free. So I'm asking you to show me some
Keep coming in, guys. Take a seat.
It's all for you in my pursuit of happiness.
Come on in, come on in. Hey, Brittany, I've got this hat here.
Hey.
Old OG real life hat. I wonder if any of the students
Yes. It is an OG hat. Who wants an OG real life hat, guys?
Anybody want an OG real life hat? You guys too cool for that. Too cool for school? I don't think they want it, Brittany. I don't know if they really want it.
I don't think they want it that bad.
Okay, so we got a black one. We also got a blue one, though. This blue one is newer.
It is newer. Yep. On brand. It's coming for ya. Nice toss. Right to the ladies. Hey, we still have the OG real life hat. Oh man, someone's gonna get hurt.
Your love will be the light that opens up my eyes. Everything tonight.
Hey, what is up, everybody? How's everyone doing tonight?
Nothing. Guys,
Am I just losing my hearing, or
I
what just
don't
happened
I
there?
feel like you're just talking to yourself.
I'm talking to a brick wall. What is going on? How's everyone doing tonight?
Happy Monday, you guys. It is a great day. I don't know about you,
Yeah,
but it's
that's-
a great day. We're having a good day, but
I'm having a great day. It seems like everyone else here is just really bummed about the wind and cold weather, though.
but I kind of don't blame them because
I don't blame them at all. Not for,
I am
not
also
for 1
bummed.
second. I don't blame you guys. I know you're just sad and bummed because it was like 30 degrees out today and like 50 mile
it's
per hour
true.
winds.
That's so true.
Broke my heart. Absolutely broke my heart. Hey guys, my name is Matt. I'm one of the ministry leads here on Monday nights.
My name is Brittany. I'm also one of the ministry leads here on the youth team.
Oh,
We're
yeah?
excited that you guys are here.
I'm so glad you're here. Hey, if you're new with us, which I don't know if I see a ton of new faces, but I might see a few.
There's
new
a
faces.
few.
If you're new with us, we're glad you're here.
We are.
I'm glad you're here.
You are brave for coming. We hope that you love this place and that you feel connected and that you have a blast.
Yeah, that's my hope to you, is that you'd have a blast here. If you're not new with us, we're also glad you're. There's just some random screaming.
We got
going
some
on in the middle
energy.
there that I just. It's like, what in the world? They're excited to be here.
They are excited.
They're excited to be here, and so am I. Hey guys, I want to let you know about something. We talk about this every single week, but it's super important. We've got some social media platforms on Instagram and TikTok. Personally,
TikTok.
Instagram, I understand. TikTok, I'm still not quite. I don't
Still don't understand.
what kind of a social media platform that is, but a lot of you guys do understand it, and if you do, please follow us or subscribe to us.
Subscribe.
Or befriend us. Which one is it? Is it friend? Do you befriend someone on TikTok?
Befriend.
Or is it subscribe to
But-
them, or how does that work? I'm not really
Follow. I
Follow?
think it's follow.
It's a follow?
But I feel like they're kind of interchangeable. So,
Oh, friend.
you guys, we really do just want you to stay connected with us so that you can be in the know, keep up to date with everything that's going on. So follow us, subscribe to us,
Befriend us.
befriend
Yeah,
us.
and we've also got Text Blast, which is just right below the social media there. If you text RLMHS 910 to 84576,
Nice.
then that's another way of staying in the know about youth group and what's going on each week. Also about random big events that come up
Yes.
throughout the year and throughout the month. So
Yeah.
definitely text in that in case you have FOMO and don't want to miss out on any amazing things happening.
Yes, yes. Speaking of amazing things, you guys, this weekend is Easter. Do you guys know this? For those of you who don't know, Easter is this weekend, which is so awesome. It's going to be great around here. We have a few different services that we would love to invite you and your families to come to. We also have a couple of egg hunts, but I just have some bad news for you guys. You are too old for the egg hunts, but you might have
Bunch of
some
oldies now.
siblings.
You're
Yeah,
oldies.
you're old.
They're old people.
Old.
souls.
But you might have some siblings that could be a part of the egg hunt. So if you want some more info on that, check out the screen right here. We have 2 services on Saturday, and then we have 3 services on Sunday per usual. So again, it'd be awesome to have you and your families come to one of our services. We'd love to see you and hang out with you on Easter.
Yeah, I feel like you giving that announcement. There's a couple people in here that are like, "Crap, I did not even remember that it was Easter." This weekend.
Seriously.
That means I got to spend more time with my family.
It's true. It's true. It's a good thing.
It's like, I enjoy spending time with my family.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, I don't know if I enjoyed
Different story.
spending time with my family as much as I do now. But yeah, join us for Easter weekend. We're doing egg hunts, which you can come and hang out with us and help out.
Yeah.
But we also have services, which will be the Saturday and the Sunday. Another cool
Yeah.
service that I just remembered just now that a lot of you guys might be really interested in is on Thursday we're doing a sort of apologetic series, which some of you are like, we're learning how to apologize. Like, no, apologetic, that's learning the evidence of the existence of Jesus and the death and resurrection of Jesus, since that's what Easter is all about. Then we're going to learn a little bit more of some of the evidences and science and history behind that event that took place. So if you're interested, that's Thursday night. It's going to kind of take place of what the Thursday service looks like. That's going to be an absolute must see, because that is going to be amazing to watch. So if you have the time, show up to that as well.
Yeah. So we have a couple different things happening this weekend. Again, we'd love to see you. We'd love for you to be a part of it. So please come, think about it, tell your families. Another thing that we have coming up is in July, we have summer camp. Hopefully you've heard us talk about this.
Whoa!
Yes. There
Guys,
it
show of
is.
hands. How many guys have already signed up for summer camp?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 of them. 12
Hey!
of them have signed up for summer camp.
You
That's what I'm
guys.
talking about. How many guys signed up the first day and got a free T-shirt with it? Yeah, that's one,
First
two. There's
day.
a couple of you guys out there. Hey, if you haven't signed up for summer camp, I'm not going to spend a ton of time here because we'll be talking about it for the next few months. But for reals, if you haven't signed up for summer camp, here's the big 2 reasons that I've heard from people just talking to you guys. Is 1, I've got work. Here's what I'd say. Here's what I'd say to you. You have the rest of your lives to work. For reals.
Quit your job.
You're going to just, well,
Just kidding, don't quit.
We're telling you months in advance so you can go to your employer, to your boss, and say, hey, look, listen here, respectfully, of course. Would it be all right if I had a few days off for this amazing, unbelievable, life-changing, fun experience that I'm going to have with my youth group? And most often they'll say, of course.
Of
Of
course.
dear employee, because I care about you and I want you to feel like you just had a life-changing experience. The second thing is that I hear is that you don't have enough money. Like, you guys are like, oh, I don't have money. It's expensive. First of all, for an amazing camp like it is, it's really not that expensive. And second of all, if money's an issue for coming to camp, come talk to Brittany or myself or Luke or Heath or Jordan or any of the ministry leads or staff. We want to help you come to camp. We don't want money to the reason that you don't come to camp. So sign up for summer camp. It's going to be a blast, and it might just change your life.
It's so true. If you're not convinced yet, we're going to be talking about it again for the next couple months to come. So come to camp. If you have any questions, come and talk to us. We want to help get you there because it's super important and it matters.
It matters. It matters. All right, guys, we're going to take a look at the screens, watch a quick video, and then we got a fun game we're going to play that I'll tell you all about in just a second. Sweet. Yeah, so that's just a video of youth group. Guys, youth group is awesome. How many of you guys actually just love coming to youth group every Monday?
Yes.
Hey, that's a little better energy than
I know.
Seeing as pretty much this whole time, I'm wondering if you guys are sleeping or not. That was some good energy. Proud of you, each and every one of you. Put a smile on your face, pat yourself on the back. All right, now we're going to play a game, or it's not really an on-stage experience.
It's
because
not.
This one's going to be a tad bit different than any other game we played.
Some may say better.
Better, different, in a different but better sort of way. So here's what it's going to be. With Easter coming up, we're going to do a little bit of an egg hunt, as some might call it.
You guys in for this? Do you guys still do egg hunts?
Of an egg hunt, but it's not an egg hunt, Brittany. What is it?
There's kind of a plot twist on it, you guys. It's a taco hunt.
It's a taco hunt. So what we've done this whole time while we're sitting here giving you announcements, we've had some special agents in the back. They've been hiding literal tacos.
Real tacos.
Del Taco tacos. Which, by the way, do you guys like Taco Bell or Del Taco better? Del Taco?
Del Taco? I heard Del Taco, yeah.
Del Taco's the best. That's what I'm talking about. Del Taco, hard shell tacos, hid all around the building, all around Building 1. Here's a few stipulations with it. Is this? There's going to be no tacos hidden upstairs. So if you're running around upstairs, I need you guys to listen, because this will be very important. Otherwise, you might not find any tacos, and you'll be a sad, sad person.
That's true.
There's going to be no tacos upstairs, and there's going to be no tacos in bathrooms. So if you're looking in a stall for a taco, probably not a
Wrong
good idea
place.
in any situation.
Yeah.
Even if it happens to be a taco hunt, don't look in a toilet for a taco. I promise that's not a good idea.
It's not good.
So there's going to be no upstairs and no bathroom tacos. But other than that, there's going to be tacos hidden all around the lobby and all around maybe the auditorium.
And we have a lot. So not the auditorium. They didn't actually sneak in here because we didn't want you to see. Just the lobby and not behind the black curtains.
Not behind it.
So
just the hangout section for youth group that you guys were just in like 15 minutes ago. But here's another cool little twist. Brittany, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
There's one taco. Uno taco. That contains with it, not only do you get the taco and get to eat the taco itself from Del Taco, already established as the best taco place in Post Falls. Not only do you get the taco, but you win a special prize. Brittany, what is that special prize?
You win a new car.
A free
Straight
car.
up. You see that? You see that? You
Look at
guys, that is a Jeep.
That thing is legit. You win a free car with this taco, and we'll call it the prize taco.
Yes.
So how you know if you won the taco or not is that on the inside of
The wrapper.
on the inside of the wrapper, there is some writing of
Yep.
like, what does it say? Winner taco, prize taco?
Yes, you'll know when you see it. You'll know. And then we also have a gift card giveaway too.
And a gift
So not only could you win a new car, you could also win a gift card to Milk and Honey. So if the car is not good enough for you, we have a $10 gift card
You guys know
floating
that-
around out there in a taco.
You guys know that new coffee place, Milk and Honey, that's just over? How many of you
Yeah.
guys have ever been to Milk and Honey? A couple of you guys.
Okay.
So here's the
Okay.
thing. Mad respect for Milk and Honey, because I went there this last week and they pumped out the drink in like literally 2 minutes. We
Really?
pulled up, yep. and it was like, hey, we're gonna have this drink. I don't remember what the drink was. And then literally in a matter of 2 minutes, we paid, got the drink, and left. I was like,
Amazing.
you got my respect. So anyways, $10
Respect.
Milk and Honey gift card just for you, along with the free car.
The free car.
Just for you as well, which we're very excited about. So with this too, there's going to be a 3-minute timer, so you guys don't have infinite time.
Nope.
You only have 3 minutes to search for all the tacos.
There's quite a few out there too. There's a lot.
Another little rule that I just threw in there because I'm just have a wild hair and I want to throw in this rule. If you find one taco, you can't actually go and find another taco until you fully eat that one taco.
Oh, and you guys, they're fresh. I have been keeping them warm. They are fresh. It is not some cold, boring taco. They're fresh. You have to finish one taco before you get your next taco. There it is. There it is.
All right. Are you guys ready to do the Easter taco egg hunt? No eggs, just tacos. It's like an Easter egg hunt, but with tacos. So, who's ready to go find some tacos for themselves and possibly win a new car?
We ready?
Gift card. All right, you guys got 3 minutes. We're going to start the time in 5, 4,
3, 2, 1,
go!
go! That guy is running. Yes. I like this. You guys are going to do great, okay?
My radio's not loud enough right now. Or it's not working properly. It's up all the way, but I can't really hear.
30 seconds down. Go find those tacos.
The winning taco should say winner on the inside of the wrapper. All right, guys, find the tacos. Did they find? Oh, that's 11, 12. Find the tacos. You guys got 1 minute
I'm
left.
wondering, do you think they found the winner taco yet? The prize taco?
I don't know. Nobody has come in running to us yet, Matt.
No one's come running. I feel like if I found the winning taco, I'd come running, ready to just show them exactly what I just found.
We are ready for the winners.
Little car right here.
It's a Jeep thing.
It's a very North Idahoan car.
That sure is.
It's a 4-door with a bed Jeep. I don't even know if that's a real vehicle. That's like the
It
Jeep
is.
Gladiator.
It's real.
That is phenomenal. All right, guys, less than 30 seconds. 11th, 12th grade, welcome in, welcome in.
Welcome, 11th and 12th graders. You like that we gave us your own very special VIP section back there?
11th, 12th grade, welcome in. Feel free to grab seats. Feel free to grab yourself some seats. You guys got 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Find those tacos and head back. Find the tacos and head back.
Come on, guys.
Time. All right. Have we found the winner taco?
Are they still looking?
I don't know if anyone's found the prize taco yet. They say there's no tacos?
That would be the worst joke ever if we literally didn't hide. There was
on April 1st. We're going to have to do something like that. We're going to say, hey, there's $1 million check hidden somewhere in the building.
That's so sad.
April Fools.
Oh my word. No, we swear you guys, there were 25
There was
tacos.
25 tacos hidden there somewhere. I don't know if anyone found the prize taco.
Has anybody consumed one of the tacos? Or
Did anyone find any tacos?
Cam did.
You found one? Is it good? It's really good.
It's good. He's on the Del Taco train.
He's on the Del Taco train. You'll be a Del Taco fan for life.
You guys, where are the winning tacos? We have a car to give away right
We
now.
got a free card to give away. Gosh. I'm wondering, do we have extra tacos somewhere? Maybe we can just do like a quick taco eating contest or something.
I don't know if
See who can eat a taco fastest to win the prize. I'm curious now.
I
That's
don't
more
know
out
if
of
we have any.
curiosity, not out of just what I'm even. I just want to see that happen.
Keep coming in, guys. We have the 11th and 12th graders in here now, which is awesome that they get to join us. So squeeze in, maybe scooch down your row if you need to. It is going to be a full house in here tonight, which is exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. 11th, 12th grade again. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad you are here. All right, we're going to figure out that winning taco situation because I have no idea where it's at. If I was trying to find it, I probably wouldn't. Fun fact, too, I'm terrible at egg hunts.
Yes.
I'm just so bad. How
Me
many guys
too.
are just so bad at egg hunts that you just don't even know where to look or what to do?
I'm sometimes I
bad.
just lose motivation.
Yeah, like there's usually the ones like in the obvious middle that I'm like, oh, give me the,
Yeah,
and after
yeah.
a while I'm like, what? I'm not gonna go searching high and low for them. It's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna.
I get it. I get it.
Guys, something I want to make you aware of, that you already are aware of most likely, but just as a reminder, every single night we do what we call late night for 11th, 12th grade. It's called After Hours. Guys, we hang out for a little bit longer, play some games, eat some good food. Tonight we're doing a trail mix. What is it called?
Yeah, a trail mix bar. So we
Trail
have a
mix bar,
whole
that's
bunch of,
what it is.
we have a lot of different flavors of trail mix, which I didn't even know there were so many different kinds of trail mix, but
Oh,
there
there's so
are.
many.
So
There's
that's
so
exciting. So that's tonight. But then next week we have orange chicken, which is so
Yeah.
exciting. It's going to be our panda night,
Yeah,
and
late night Panda nights. That's what I'm talking about.
It's
I
gonna be
love
good.
Panda Express. It's one of my favorite things in the entire world. I just love it. So
It's so
be
good.
excited for that, guys. Invite a friend if they like Panda as well, and not like actual Panda, but like Panda Express.
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
had Panda.
Actual panda.
Actual Panda
Please
bear.
don't ever eat an actual
That'd be-
panda.
That'd be super weird.
That's so sad.
Alrighty, we'll have some more info on the winning taco after the message tonight. But for now, it'll remain a mystery whether someone actually found the winning taco or not. So we can give away our $10 gift card and the free car.
Free car.
If no one found it, we'll just have to, next week, we'll just have to give this away in some creative way. So, guys, tonight we've got a super special guest coming to speak for us. He's our senior pastor here at Real Life. His name's Jim Putman. A lot of you guys probably know him or have heard of him. He's coming to finish off our Ready for the World series, talking about a lot of stuff that we've really built up to this point. So something I ask of you guys is that you'd be excited and that you'd be ready to hear from Jim and the things that God's laid on his heart and some of his story and all that stuff. So I'm going to pray for him, and then you guys put your listening caps on and get ready to hear from Jim. Father, thanks for this time. God, thanks for just everything that you've given us. And Lord, thanks for tonight. God, I pray that you'd help us focus and listen and just hear what you are wanting to communicate to us. God, open our hearts and open our ears to hear from you. Lord, we love you. We thank you. Praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hello. Are you people awake? Yes. All right, a few of you. Well, I'm excited to be here. I always love coming. This is a subject that's kind of dear to my heart, and for several different reasons. When I grew up, it's a little bit different than when you guys are growing up. I know this is going to date me, we didn't have the internet. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have all the technology. We didn't have, we did have the very start of video games, but you wouldn't like them. And Christianity was basically accepted by most people in America. And even if you weren't a Christian, you were not, it still set the standards for how things were, like morals, accepted morals at school, accepted morals on television, all the different kinds of things that protected a culture and kind of kept it together with some shared norms. But when I got to college, if you would have asked me what I was, I would have told you I was brought up in a Christian home, but I really didn't have any love for the church. I liked summer camp because it was a lot of fun. But when it came to youth group, I didn't grow up where they had a youth group, so I didn't really experience that. But when I went to college, it seemed like all the rules were different. And so, though I would have said I was a Christian, I had a major drinking problem, I had a major violence problem, I was a very immoral, rebellious human being, hard for anybody to deal with. And when I got to college, in my very first class that I remember sitting in, it was a biology class, and the teacher, it was in a huge room. I only had 50 people in my graduating class in high school. It was a huge room, and the teacher was at the bottom, and all of us were kind of in the stands, and we were waiting, and at the very last minute, we were thinking we were in the wrong classroom, and there was easily 120 people there, and the professor came walking in a suit. And all he did is he walked up to the table and he said, "I want to ask you a question." He said, "How many of you in here believe that God created the earth in 6 days and rested on the seventh? How many of you believe the biblical account of creationism?" And the room was, there was about this many people, maybe a little less, not much, but there was probably 5, 6, 10 people who kind of went like this. And here's what he said. He said, "I want you to know that you've been taught by uneducated people, and we're here to educate you." And I realized that I was in a completely different world. Though I had gone to a public school, they didn't say stuff like that. They didn't do stuff like that. And over the course of that year, in every class I took in college, they would take some aspect of Christianity, and it seemed like they would shape psychology to attack Christianity. They would shape biology to attack creation. They would take sociology, you name it, and they would attack. Now, I had a few classes where that wasn't the case, but overall, in all 4 of the colleges I went to get all the degrees I got, it was the same in every one. And so, by the time my freshman year was halfway over, a couple things happened. I had heard stuff I had never heard before, and so I was convinced that Christianity was untrue, and actually I was convinced that there was no such thing as a God. 2 reasons for that. Number 1, it was what the professors were teaching. And number 2, it was what the whole peer group I was running around with believed. And they were just acting out, whatever they wanted to act out, doing whatever they wanted to do. It was crazy. A lot of drinking and partying, and the rules that I had heard growing up, and even in the high school I went to, you may break the rules, but there was still this accepted right and wrong. Now there was no right and wrong, and there was just simply whatever is true for you is true. And so what I want to do is I want to say just a couple of things to you before I get started in just the few minutes I have. I want you to know that if you're living in this culture, I was living in that culture, I'm living in this culture now, doubt is a part of what a Christian deals with. you deal with doubt. Now, sometimes you think you're the only one who's dealing with doubt. Because, if you go to church, you don't really talk about it. You kind of, you're supposed to have faith, but yet when you hear stuff, there's like this little voice in your head that goes, I'm not sure, do I really believe that? Do I think that's true? And then you hear stuff in the internet. You hear stuff from your friends. You hear all this stuff, and here's what really got to me. First of all, it was the professor saying this, and it seemed like everybody believed that other thing that was different than what I had been taught. So here's what I came to. I came to this belief that what I had been taught is simply wrong. My parents are kind of a little bit off. They believe this, but they're a little bit off. Maybe they believe what they believe because they're not educated. Maybe they believe what they believe because they were brought up that way. But I'm the only one who, at least originally, started out believing that this stuff is true. So maybe I'm just wrong and everybody else is right. And then, again, nobody talked about having doubts. Yet I was having doubts all the time. And so I thought there was something wrong with my faith, and I heard all the things they said, and I started to buy into it, and pretty soon I don't believe in God. Now, here's what I want to tell you. We live in a culture right now that is changing all the rules, and you know that. Maybe you don't know that. Because this is the only culture you've ever been brought up in. You don't know it was different 10 years ago. You don't know it was different 20 or 30 years ago. You have no idea that the rules that you're being taught with your friends or in school or the media or Hollywood, you have no idea that those ideas would have never been allowed 20 years ago. And so, sometimes your parents don't even know what you're being taught or how you're being influenced by your friends. And so you just have this view of the world, and because of what everybody else seems to believe, you're just like, well, maybe it's right. Maybe these people are right. Maybe this Christianity thing is untrue. But I want to just tell you about my personal journey. Here's what I was told when I went to college. I was told that there was no such thing as a scientist who believed in God. I was told that only uneducated people believed in God. I was told that science had proven that evolution was right and that we're just an accidental random process. And I was taught that materialism is true, and materialism is the belief that all that exists is time and space and matter, and there's nothing outside of that, and every educated person knows this. So I actually believe that. I remember getting into arguments with Christians, in particular my father, who, when I told him I didn't believe, he would say, "What do you mean you don't believe?" And I'd say, I know this sounds terrible, but I would say, "Dad, you're just not educated. And you just don't know. I mean, we've grown a lot in our culture. We know a lot more than we used to know. And there are no scientists who believe in God." And so he laughed at me, and rightly so. And he said, "Really?" And so he started sending me articles. He started sending me articles by the greatest scientists from around the world. Now, granted, there are some very popular scientists like Richard Dawkins and some others who get the most press. And so people, since they're always the guys who get to be put on TV, and they're the ones who get to, be exalted, they think, people think, then that must be true, because Richard Dawkins would actually say, as a scientist, he would actually say that religion is for the uneducated, except for, he's just one scientist. And so he started to send me articles, like, for instance, just to give you an example, this is by Robert Jastrow, who was the head of the Naval Research Laboratory. He worked for NASA. He was at Columbia University. One of the greatest scientists in history said this: "At this moment, it seems as though science will never be able to raise the curtain on the mystery of creation. For the scientist who has lived by his faith in the power of reason, the story ends like a bad dream. He has scaled the mountains of ignorance. He is about to conquer the highest peak. As he pulls himself over the final rock, he is greeted by a band of theologians who have been sitting there for centuries." Here's his point. The more we find out about science and the anthropic principles, the laws of nature, the design, the intricate detail, the better and more powerful our microscopes get and our telescopes get. And the more we find out, these people who have been around saying, listen, there's no such thing as a scientist who believes in God, you find out that actually, they just did a new study. 68% of scientists believe in God. A new study, 68%. Now, listen, we don't go something's true because 68% of this or 68% of that is true. There was a time when about 100% of the world thought the world was flat. Just because people believe something doesn't make it true. But conversely, just because somebody doesn't believe in something doesn't make it not true. My question was this, as I started to come to this understanding that, wait a minute, you told me that all these scientists don't believe in God. You told me that there are a bunch of people that believe this, but obviously it's not true. Then why are you telling me something that's not true? What is your agenda? Why are you doing it? Why are a few of you shaping the narrative, creating fake news to try to convince me that there is no God? When I came to the conclusion there is a God, I didn't know which one. I actually liked the idea of Buddhism. So as a history major in college, I went, okay, I'm going to start studying religious books based on history. Every religious book is it's history. Somebody said something happened, and somebody started to teach them certain things, and somehow they proved to people that they heard from God. And so once it becomes history, there's actually criteria by which you can decide whether something is fiction, is historical fiction, meaning they're real characters, but they tell a false story about them, or whether it's actually real history. And so I started to look at Buddhism, and I looked at Islam, and I looked at Mormonism, and I looked at all these religions based on the writers claim they're speaking truth at a certain time and a certain place. And I started to use the historiography criteria to decide. And as I started to look at those things, I'll tell you why I didn't start looking at Christianity. I didn't start with Christianity. I went through Buddhism and Islam and Zoroaster and the Baha'i and all those, Mormonism. I looked at them first. Here's why I wouldn't look at Christianity. I was told in college that the Bible was fiction. I was told that the Bible has been written and rewritten so many times we don't even have the original story. I was told that the New Testament wasn't even written by eyewitnesses. It was people who pretended to be those guys later on. And so Mark wasn't actually written by Mark. And Matthew wasn't actually written by Matthew. 150 years later, somebody said, let's tell a story, and they made up a story. That's what I was told. And so I believed that. So I thought, well, if I'm going to study which God is which God, it can't be the Christian God because we know that's fiction. So that's why I started with the others. But as I started walking through Buddhism and Islam and the Baha'i and Mormonism, historically, there's no evidence for any of those religions. They're not based in truth. Their evidence is what's called metaphysical. It's not. It's more some sort of spiritual evidence rather than actual physical historical evidence. But while I was doing that, I had somebody that loved me and kept saying, "Jim, look at Christianity. Look at Christianity." And I'd say, "No, I'm not looking at Christianity because I know it's not true." First, I don't think it's true because the church was mean. I didn't like what I saw in church. But secondly, the Bible's been written and rewritten, and it's not even written by the evidence. This is not history. I know that to be true. And he said, "That's not true what you're hearing." And I went, "Okay," and that actually led to a bet. I bet that if I could disprove Christianity based on history, that the pastor that was talking to me would quit being a pastor and would leave Christianity. If I lost, I had to become a Christian. That was the bet. So I started walking right through the evidence. First, again, I started with, hey, the Bible's been written and rewritten 1,000 times. We don't even know if we have the same writings, and the story changed over time. That's what I had been taught in college. As I started to unpack the evidence for that, guess what I found out? It's not true. We have copies, we have more copies early dated, close to the events than any other book in history, whether religious or not. We have people who have spent their entire life proving that we have an accurate copy. In fact, guys, know this. I don't even need the Bible. I can take the New Testament Bible, put it over here, and I can just read letters written from one Christian to another Christian 2,000 years ago where they quote Scripture and they quote the story you have in your Bible. I can prove the story hasn't changed without ever opening up the Bible. That's a lie. We have the same story 2,000 years ago. In fact, here's the kicker. I can actually go to those who put Christians to death for the story. And they actually write why they put the Christians to death, what their story was. I can rebuild the New Testament just using the people who killed Christians 2,000 years ago, explaining what the Christians believed. The story did not develop over time. 2,000 years ago, people were saying Jesus was the Son of God, He died on the cross, and He rose from the dead. 2,000 years ago, the enemies of Christianity are telling the same story that we get today. The Bible hasn't been changed. The Bible was written by eyewitnesses. In fact, we can go back and the disciples of the disciples, those who lived 2,000 years ago, or close to that, will tell you where they got the Bible from, the New Testament from. They actually tell you that we got it from Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Luke, not being a disciple, wrote it for the disciples. He researched it. Mark wrote it for Peter. Matthew and John were actual disciples of Jesus. Now, how sure were they that those Gospels were written by the actual disciples? Polycarp was a disciple of John the Apostle, who wrote John the Apostle, and he was actually burned at the stake for being a Christian in the Roman amphitheater. How sure was he that John was written by John? Well, he was sure enough that he died being burned to death for believing that Jesus was the Son of God, the only way to the Father, and he would not worship the Roman gods, and he would not shut up about Jesus raising from the dead. He was so sure that this event happened that he died for it. I was told that the witnesses weren't credible witnesses. in college. That it wasn't actually written by them, and people write religions to gain power and prestige, and people write religions to become powerful, and you know, there's a tithing system so they get money, and there's all these things that these guys wrote this stuff for, and they got something for their testimony, and you'd be right about most religions. Muhammad had 10 wives. In fact, he died when one of the wives that he had, who had, by the way, Muhammad had killed a man to take his wife because he wanted his wife. That woman poisoned Muhammad, and that's how Muhammad died. Muhammad had an army, and he conquered the entire Middle East. He did gain something for his testimony: money, wives, power. Joseph Smith got something for his testimony. He had 35 wives that we know of. He was the prophet. He gained all kinds of stuff for something he claimed. But the New Testament writers, every single one of Matthew was killed, hung for his faith. Luke was hung on an olive tree. Peter was crucified. You go down the list, every single writer died for their testimony, and you know, when somebody lies, they usually get something for it. For instance, you know, for the people that say, well, the disciples got money, and it's all about money, Paul actually writes that I've given up all things. In fact, I consider it all garbage compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Jesus. Jesus said, what does it profit you to gain the whole world yet forfeit your soul? Stop storing up treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy, where thieves break in and steal, but store up treasure in heaven. And how do you store up treasure in heaven? Give to the poor. The early church was known for giving everything they had away to people. To become a Christian did not mean you got wealthy, it meant you gave away your wealth. Sex, almost every religion was started by a man, and most everyone had sex involved. The early church taught that it was better to be single and to be celibate, but if you were going to get married, it was once to one person, and divorce wasn't an option. And you're to have one wife. When you go to fame, maybe I'll get famous, but here's the problem. Here's something you need to think about. You all do know that Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote the story of Jesus. So you guys are aware of that, right? Jesus didn't write it about himself. You agree? When you read the story of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, do you recognize that they wrote things about themselves, the disciples, that were extremely embarrassing? How many of you in here have ever maybe lied to make yourself look a little bit better? Let's be honest. Everybody raise your hand. Everybody has kind of shaded the truth because they want to look really good. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John wrote about themselves that they would argue about who the greatest in the kingdom of heaven was. They would write about themselves, and Jesus would say to them, "Oh, you of little faith." When you read the story of the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John are not the heroes. Who are the heroes? Who is the hero? Jesus is. Why would Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John write embarrassing details about themselves? When you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, it isn't about the heroes of the faith, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It's about the hero, Jesus the Christ, who cared about his stupid disciples no matter what stupid thing they did. When you read the story of Muhammad, Muhammad is the hero. He's always the hero. When you read the story of Buddha, Buddha is always the hero. Joseph Smith is always the hero. They wrote about themselves. When you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, when you read 1st and 2nd Peter, Peter writes about himself that Jesus looked at him and said, "Get thee behind me, Satan." He ran away and saved his own life by denying Jesus 3 times. The only hero was Jesus. Why would those guys write that about themselves? Unless it was true. You see, I was told all of these things in college. Story's been rewritten, and the story's not true because they're not credible. You name it, I was told it, but here was the problem. As I went through all of this, two things happened. Number one, I came convinced that Jesus Christ really was the Son of the living God. In history, there is no one like him. We have more historical evidence about him than we do about Caesar Augustus. We have more non-Christians writing about Jesus and the impact of Jesus than any other person in history. We have when you start to unpack all of this, I became convinced that Jesus really was. This Easter story, how do people go from being terrified and running away to save their own life to not a month and a half later standing in the very same place, being willing to die, no longer afraid of death, no longer afraid of what you could do to them? What changed? What happened? As you start to unpack this, I became convinced, number one, that this is absolutely true, and number two, something else is going on. Why aren't these colleges attacking Mormonism? Why aren't they attacking Buddha? Why aren't they attacking Muhammad? Why are they telling people things that are not true to convince people of things that are not true? What is going on behind the scenes that these people would be doing this? How many of you in here would agree that there's been a lot of fake news going on in America for the last little while? Would you all agree with that? What are they doing by holding back some of the information? Why are they only bringing forward some of the information? Why are they not bringing forward the other information? What is it that they want? What is it that they're doing? Why is this happening? Well, the Bible tells us that there is a spiritual enemy, that we're not fighting against flesh and blood, people, so much as spiritual forces in the heavenly realms. Historically, Jesus is on solid foundation as anything, and yet they dismiss Jesus and they attack Jesus, but they won't attack Muhammad, Islam. You start to get a picture that something's going on in the spiritual realm, and that we're going to need to pay attention. And that the devil has constantly sought to deceive. Jesus said that the devil is a liar and the father of lies, and he's a murderer. He has an agenda. He maneuvers information. He deceives. He masquerades as an angel of light. And here's my fear for you. I just want you to hear this. I believe this story about Jesus with my entire being. And because I believe that, I care about you. And I know the voices are pushing you to be confused about so many things. And I just want you to be in heaven. I want you to know Jesus. I know what's coming out there. The reason we do Ready for the World here is I know what the media is pushing. I know what Hollywood's pushing. I know what the universities are pushing. I see them controlling what's said and what's not said, what's heard and what's not heard. I know the pressure you're feeling about whether you're this gender or that, things that were a solid foundation from the history of man. The rules have been taken out, and the impact is emotional illness, confusion, pain and suffering. And I care that you are ready for what's coming. But here's the deal. We can do whatever we want. If you're not going to take responsibility for your own faith, if you're not going to get ready, if it's not going to matter to you because you're too busy to be able to build a defense so that you know what you know, so that you know and can live what God has said in your life, if you're not going to do that, then you're walking out there, and it won't be long until you're just a drone. You're just walking along with the crowd, believing what the crowd believes, doing what the crowd does. Oh, you'll fit in to what the world's doing, and you'll also fit into the behaviors and the consequences, into the broken relationships, to the confusion about who you are and what you were made for. You'll pursue all these things that we say are so important in America, and yet America is the most oppressed, addicted. Why? Well, because so many of us are kind of buying into the agenda and the voices that are speaking into our culture. Here's why I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian because it's true. Sometimes I don't want it to be true. Sometimes I doubt. Sometimes I have things happen that I don't really understand. Things that I'm like, God, I don't know why you allowed that to happen, or what's the big plan, or how can this turn out for good. As a pastor, I get to hear about a lot of things that are really hard. And sometimes I doubt, and I have to go back and go, why do I believe this again? Oh, okay, there is a God. There are human beings. There is design. There is consciousness. There's even a moral law written on the hearts of men. Jesus really is the Son of God. He really did do something unique in all of history. And it always leads me to this, and I'll close with this. I look back at my life when I used to do things my way, where I sat on the throne of my own heart and my own feelings, my own appetites, my own desires led the way. And I got a lot of the things that I thought I wanted. And sometimes the worst thing you can get is what you think you want. And it led me to emptiness and a lack of satisfaction and a lack of relationship. And it wasn't until I said, Jesus, I believe not only that you are real and true, but I believe you are good. And I want you to lead my life. It wasn't until then that things got harder in some ways. I felt different than other people that I used to walk with, and they all believed they were going a different direction than I was going. I was just smart enough to go, that direction doesn't lead to any kind of life I want to have. Many of the friends that I used to walk with, I now see what their life looks like 30 and 40 and 50 years later. And I want you to know, I'm really glad I don't have their life. I don't have their relationships. As I started to walk with Jesus, he started to change me from the inside out. That doesn't mean it was easy. I do feel different. Right now, I believe things that make me very unpopular in the world. I believe that Jesus is the only way to salvation. I believe there's a real heaven and hell, and God's going to judge those who do not accept him and will not obey him. I believe there are two genders because God says so. I know to start messing with things like that messes with a person's brain and their bodies, and I'm seeing it all over. I believe that this world isn't my home. I believe that no matter what success down here looks like for a human, it's nothing in comparison to eternity. I believe Jesus is the one who can change a life. He's changed mine, and he's rebuilt my life from what I worked so hard to tear it apart, and he's changed it. I believe he loves you, and he has a purpose for you. And it's my prayer that you take your own walk seriously. I have seen young people do things, have the power to do things to change a world. I know of in our history, and I know of people in our church that were young, and maybe people thought they were too young, but God used them to change whole families, whole eternities. I know you have the power in this room for good and for bad, and you are special. I'm hoping that you'll walk with Jesus. I'm hoping you'll take your walk with him seriously and you'll let him lead your life. I'm hoping that you're strong enough and courageous enough to stand firm against all the pressure you're feeling. To stand against your own feelings inside that sometimes you want so badly to be like everybody else, and you want what everybody else seems to have, and you get caught up in this Facebook world where everybody takes a picture and puts it, I wish I had that, and the temptation to go pursue this or that, and you'll be happy, but I just know Too many of the stories of the people who are smiling on that page, what's really going on behind the scenes. I hope you have the strength not to fit in with the crowd. You want to be rebellious? Be rebellious against the wrong things. Stand up and say, no, I'm not doing those wrong things that you say. I'm going to stand with Jesus even if I'm alone. I'm going to stand with him. I'm going to walk with him all the way to the end. I'm going to pull as many with me as I can. I hope you're the generation that's courageous enough to say, no more. We're not giving in. We're not drifting. We're not getting all fogged up in our heads. We're going to be the generation that changes the world. I hope you are. I know Jesus would like that. I'm hoping someday we'll have a church where you guys come and it's gray hairs and no hairs and women and men and young people and old, because I think here's what brings God the most honor. When we put down all this racial stupid stuff and we all get together with different ages, different races, all praising the one true King, the King of Kings, and we're a part of the kingdom of heaven first and foremost, and everything else gets second best. Jesus gets first. That's what I'm hoping for you. Thanks.
Guys, I'm stoked that we got the opportunity to have Jim here. Here's what I love about Jim. I've worked here 8 years. I love Jim. He is one of the most sincere guys you'll ever meet. The gym you get on stage is the exact same gym you get in the lobby. And so if you guys come on Sunday morning, make sure you guys connect with him. Here's what I love about his story is that he was a youth pastor. He came out of youth ministry to start a church because he wanted a church where young people could connect. That the young people could walk into the doors on a Sunday morning and be like, this is my church. These are my people. This is a place for me. This church wants me. And so, guys, we want you guys here not only on youth group nights, but on Sundays. We want you a part of the church as a whole. Not only the youth ministry, not only Jim, but the church as a whole. And so, guys, I'm stoked for you guys to slide off into small groups. So what we're going to do is if you're an 11th and 12th grader, we're going to send you guys right back to building 2 right now. Follow Aura out the back and Spence over there doing the hand dance. This is great. If you guys are a 9th and 10th grader, you're going to head off right now and head to your small groups, wherever those might be. If you're brand new and you don't know where you're heading, come up and connect with Brittany for the ladies, Luke for the gentlemen, and they'll get you connected and rolling wherever you need to go. We're going to start early hour or after hour, not early hour, at 8:30. So you guys got about 45 minutes. Head off into the small groups.
Ladies, if you do not see your leader, that means that you need to come to the front and see me. So if Lindsay Phillips is your leader, come to the front. If Anna is your leader, please come up here. If Brooke is your leader, please come see me. If Kate and Michaela are your leaders, come up here. And if Star and Sydney are your leaders, come and see me.